Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. This is a regular old Twitch recap from about 2 weeks ago because I've been very behind on everything, and many apologies for that. So we are joining our crew out at Harmonia Station because it is time for the little Chestnut and our 6 brave Kerbals to return to Earth. So we do have a few logistical things I wanted to take care of out here before we departed, mainly having to do with this supply tank. So we're going to borrow a docking port from Chestnut and get loaded back in, make sure our life support is unlocked, our fuel is unlocked, and we are going to attempt to put this life support pod that I have been wanting to get rid of for literally years now, but can't because it still has viable supplies in it, and dock it to someplace that's not a connected living space compliant docking port, and instead attach it to our water purifier and our remote guidance unit that are now permanent fixtures here on Harmonia Station. This procedure did end up taking a whole lot longer than I thought it would. So I've sped the footage up greatly, and that hit looked a whole lot worse in sped up footage than it did before. But that's why this docking took so long. Is well, even with as many supplies dumped out of it as possible, it is still very heavy. So it does throw off our axis of control by a significant portion. And, well, we carry a lot of momentum, so it's kind of hard to slow down. And, of course, trying to be very mindful of that solar panel, I would really prefer not to take it out. We only have 2 now, so we can't lose half of our power supply. We did end up trying to adjust the station relative to the docking port a few times. It went about as well as could be expected for moving 2 very heavy objects at orbital speeds very close to one another and trying to get them to just mate up perfectly. I was really hoping this whole thing would take like 20 minutes. It ended up taking nearly twice that, so that's why all of this is very sped up, because we've got much more important things to take care of. Although eventually we would just grind enough paint off of both docking ports to where they wouldn't bounce off each other anymore, and eventually come to something that resembles a hard dock, although it's right about now perfect. So with a whole lot of RCS fuel expended, we're going to go ahead and top off all the tanks. I really should have topped things off a little differently, but whatever works. Our second objective here is to bring little Odysseus back home with us. Absolutely excellent. These last, oh man, when did this crew launch? It's 93 currently. Low-key, the ice giants interest me more than the gas giants. Oh, not like Odin ice giants, like giant ice planets. I thought you meant like giant ice people. I'm having a real dumb day. Like, real dumb. So, many apologies. Alright, let's get you backed up, and let's get little Odysseus here into position. Set as target. Nope, other way. We got to be clear of that solar panel first. That's a big one. But at least we have an obviously lighter craft to dock with an obviously heavier craft that hopefully won't cause too much screwiness or blow out our DV figures. That's something I did not really have time to check, so we'll have to see how well this plan's going to come together. I think our transfer to Mars is something like 20... It's like 2,000 and some change meters per second, which is well within the normal budget of what Chestnut carries, which is in the 3,000-ish range. So we should be just fine, and I really hope the parachutes aren't going to be too stressed out when we're coming in for reentry, and that we can pull this thing through the atmosphere and everything will be a-okay. But we've not tested for any of it, and I really just want to bring this home so we can put it in a museum, because it's been on the surface of Mars, it's been to Phobos, and it's been to Deimos. Between two separate crews. So, like, I feel like it needs to be put on display somewhere. And especially because I'm fairly convinced we have the Delta V and the TWR to make it a thing. So this docking will go a whole lot better than our other docking. I've still sped it up just a little bit, make things a little more tolerable for you, but we're actually pretty good at docking little Odysseus now. Even though everything is off axis, nothing is balanced, and RCS build aid was a complete and total afterthought. But I will turn you again back over to old me live during the broadcast. Which one crashed the Mars base? Like, which Kerbal? Yeah, that was Yegor. The one who just very successfully nailed this docking. And we should probably not forget to get him out. EVA, because if things go wrong, we're going to have to ditch this thing. Not that I'd want to, but it might have to be a thing. Grab, is this full? Can we... board? Nope, okay. I'm going down to the next one. Set camera to free, please. There you go. Am I going to try to do a Mars surface base again? Not immediately. But yes, I would like to make a more permanent... I would like to establish a more permanent presence on Mars. We have negative 71 meters per second. Alright, we're going to control from here, and we're going to shut down these engines. So we don't need them doing that kind of stuff. So how do we have negative 417? We can make sure throttle is pegged, but we'll activate that engine, make sure we can start unlocking fuel. Come on, there we go. Yeah, and that's not even, we're not even optimized on our fuel yet. There is optimization, 3874 meters per second with our cargo. Yes. No CLS? Yeah, no. This was built in the days long before CLS was a thing. So let's bring up Mech Jeb and plot our course. So maneuver planner. Let's go target Earth. Squee, they're coming home. Hopefully. Let's hopefully we don't screw this up. Set as target. Workshop. Lowest Delta V. Departure anytime now. Alright, let's just do it then. 22.195. Orbit must not be hyperbolic. Who cares? I think we're in good shape. We got 6 ignitions, 2181 meters per second node in 1 hour. How many years old is this station? I think the oldest parts of it were put in orbit in 1973, so that'd make them 20 years old. The oldest parts have been deorbited, however. I think the lab is the only thing that remains. The lab and this dumb thing are the only parts that remain from the original build. The habitat module's new, obviously. The supply pod turned power coupler. Alright, well, let's all bid a fond farewell to Harmonia Station as we make sure we're still generating electric charge. We are topping off our cells. Good news. Good day to you, Harmonia. It's been real. And that means this entire crew is ready for retirement. Yegor especially. Yegor has been with us since the moon landing days. Take a screenshot. Ah, oh, dang it. Screenshot of them looking out at the window at it. I think yeah. Oh, dude, look. Let's come out of time warp. Let's inch the nose down. Let's turn on RCS. Give me my mouse back. RCS to arm, thank you. Not the best. I totally could have framed that shot a whole lot sooner. And it would have been a whole lot better with the station actually not so tiny and far away. Full zoom it. Oh, dang it, mouse look. No, God, why? Alright, nope. And we're done here. Sorry, I think I've gotten all I can. Oh, never mind. Really good screenshot. Yeah, oh, never mind. Indeed, oh, never mind. Why did I hit... Come on, KSP. Catch it. Don't mind if I do. Alright. We have to... Oh my. That's okay, Scorpio. I've literally never thought of doing this. Had chat not told me about it, I wouldn't have. Alright, and back to time warping. Let's get this burn underway. I would like to successfully get them home. I have a feeling there's going to be a mid-course correction, because our TWR is, it's a very nice. We could do this burn in probably a minute. So we don't need much lead time. We do need to activate our engine, however. Please don't let me forget to activate the engine. Alright, let's get staged. Let's activate RCS, activate stability control, activate our engine. Let's bring up this because it's probably going to take a little while to ullage all the things. I did not consider that. Sad boy hours where Scorpio is. Unity was a space station that Scorpio made that was absolutely gorgeous and massively impressive, I have to say. Isn't one of the screenshots of it on one of the loading screens for RP-1, Scorpio? Yep, we've already ullaged our engine. Would you look at that? Alright, I have no idea how long it's going to take to actually make this burn, or why we're getting this induced roll. But... oh good, I'm glad we're using the thruster ports on Odysseus there. This engine does not throttle, I don't believe either, so I think we're just kind of like burn for broke. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. Is that Earth? There she is. There's Earth. I'm so glad that it gets... you should be, and you should be very, very proud of that thing. As Scorpio tries to be modest. much. No, I don't want that. I want you, please. Okay, good. Wondering if I should unlock these or just transfer them into the big tank. So we're going to try to use as much extra of this RCS stuff as we can for fine-tuning and for helping us not, you know, burn up in Earth's atmosphere. Before we leave SOI, you should take an IVA screenshot of Mars out the window. Remind me as we leave Mars SOI, because we're absolutely going to follow this to the SOI change point so that we can make sure it is still on a course for Earth. I have had this problem in the past. I do not really wish to have this crew not return because KSP decided to eat their telemetry. It'd be great, okay? What's our... yeah, okay. Oh wow, it says it's going to take another 3 minutes to pull this burn. That's interesting. And does this engine throttle? No. Did not think so. Just wanted to check. Telemetry, Alt F5 after we Miko. Good plan? Absolutely. Alt F4 after Miko. Bad plan? Probably not. Alt F5, always good idea. Agreed. I could have spent longer getting those plumes to be a little better, but it is what it is. That's obviously my concern currently, right? The Kraken loves telemetry. I thought it was just F5. F5 is just generic quick save. Alt F5 lets you name the quick save, which helps you to not overwrite a good quick save with a bad quick save. 2.16, so not quite uncomfortable, but I mean, considering they've been in 0G for like 3 years, it might be a little uncomfortable. Normal F5 does that now, really? Well, I am just a little archaic, I suppose. Okay, all that's unlocked. Yeah, let's open these up too. Okay, we brought some C4 home because reasons. Should have left that behind. Too late now. Should have left the drill. No, we left plenty of drills in the toolkit out there. We will be fine. Everything will be fine. Everything's fine. Alright, what are we down to? 800 some odd meters per second. We can also turn you off to save power. Not that we need to, but yeah, maybe. There is ejection. Let's take a look at the map view. Focus. Yeah, looks to be coming down pretty nicely. I'm glad Mech Jeb isn't a dirty liar today. .300 meters per second remaining. Alright, we're gonna get ready to shut these down. I mean, eventually. We'll try to dial in as much of our approach as we can from here, and then quick save, and then follow them out of Mars SOI, and then more quick saving. Come on. Ah, missed it. Dang it. I glanced down just at the wrongiest of wrong seconds, so hopefully we just have to undo about 7 meters per second on RCS, which shouldn't be too terrible. We hope. Come on, KSP, take out the garbage. Thank you. And there, sorta. That looks much better. Thank you, KSP, for that. So we'll just continue to dial things in on RCS. This vessel does carry an absolutely ridiculous amount of RCS fuel because, well, corrections like this are always necessary when you're me and terrible at being accurate with burns, although I think I can blame some of it on engines that don't throttle and relatively high TWR for this craft in particular, although that makes no excuses for anything else. So we're going to plot a node just a few minutes away from our current location to try to bring ourselves in on a approach vector, something that will be much closer to Earth's atmosphere, so that our correction later on will be itty bitty, and will hopefully bring us within the atmosphere. I don't know if it'll be enough to slow us down in one pass. I think this vehicle just carries entirely too much mass with it to do this in a single pass, although as long as we capture first pass, everything else will be fine. There's plenty of life support on board. We've got backup solar panels for running things. The crew will be fine. I think a 2-pass entry is probably our standard procedure for coming home from Mars because it's just, well, fast is, I guess, the best way to put it. So we'll go ahead and start to dial this in just a little bit more, and then start to correct, get ourselves on course to bring this crew home. They've been on station for many, many years at this point, and I'm sure they're going to be extremely happy to, be at 1G again. So, there's that. And with the ejection burn complete, there's really nothing left to do except power off the RCS system and enjoy the view, which is exactly what we did. So that's going to do it for this episode, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.